So we just got a brand new teaser for the next Predator movie, Predator Badlands. And at first, I was hyped. I mean, a new Predator film? Fantastic. What's not to love, right? No way for anyone to politicize it. No racism, no sexism, no wokeism. Just a straight up awesome movie we can all enjoy. And obviously that's a complete lie. I'm lying. It's 2025 and we're only getting angrier by the second. So I made the terrible decision of checking Twitter, worst place on earth. And it's just a dumpster fire at this point. People are losing their minds over the new Predator design. First, they're complaining about the Predator's hairstyle, saying it's too black. Then they're upset the Predator is a female. They're not. And therefore too woke though. Let's break this down real quick. This info is coming straight from the director's mouth himself. Dan Trachtenberg, in an interview with Bloody Disgusting, explained that the new Predator is named Dek, played by actor Demetrius Suster Koloamantangi, a New Zealand of Samoan and Tongan descent. And this means Dek is a he. Dek is described as a underdog Yautja, the name for the predator species, described as a runt looked down on by his clan, trying to prove himself to his father. He picks a death planet called Kalisk to hunt on and earn his place. He's not some almighty perfect predator, he's an outsider. Backing up a bit, people are freaking out about the design, calling it inferior compared to the original, but honestly, aside from the first Predator movie, fans have always had complaints about the new design from movie to movie. It's just the reality of the thing, and I think that's because the first movie introduced us to the creature, the world, the vibe, and nothing is ever going to recreate that fresh, groundbreaking feeling. I mean, half the movie, the Predator, you don't even see him till pretty much the third act, and then you get to see him for the first time, really. Almost like any sequel as well, like I think the same things apply. It's just not as fresh now as it was for the first movie, so when you see the sequel, it's like, it's good, but it still isn't invoking the same feelings from the very, very first movie. And here's the thing, if Dek is a runt, someone rejected by his clan, then of course he's going to look different. Smaller, maybe scrawnier, maybe even more human-like. But that seems to be the whole point. It's a purposeful design choice, not an accident. It feels like their species is similar to 300, or like the Spartans rather, how they would reject children that were deformed. Brutal, but it fit their culture. So I'm thinking the same thing basically could happen and apply to the predator species. Makes sense. But of course, instead of thinking critically, people are whining about his hairline and how his look is too black. This is when you know the woke mind virus is just taking over completely, because funny enough, if you actually knew Predator history, you'd realize that the OG Predator design was inspired by a painting of a Rastafarian warrior, right out of the producer Joel Silver's office. I didn't even know this. I Googled it and it was so easy to find. It wasn't hidden knowledge. So yeah, the Predator's dreadlocks, not random, not woke, it's literally baked into the original concept. I couldn't find the original painting, but here's some AI renditions to kind of give you an idea. Bottom line though, the Predator's hair is always supposed to look a little blackish. It's not a political statement, it's part of the DNA of the design. And if you want to talk about bad designs, honestly, like take a look at the original creature for the first movie, which was a complete disaster, got scrapped obviously. Boss Film Studios built a Predator suit that was so clunky it needed puppet legs, wire harnesses to function correctly. Now, let's be fair to Boss Film Studios, they had already recognized that its execution would be problematic from the conception, but they brought it to life anyways. I mean, they were told to, they were being paid to.
And they wanted to shoot on the muddy slopes of Mexico in the real jungles. It was virtually physically impossible to do. I told them it wouldn't work. They wanted to just tell the guy to hop around like a frog, and it was Jean-Claude Van Damme who had no idea what he was getting into. He was just off the boat from Brussels. He thought he was going to show his martial arts abilities to the world.
Martial arts, what's the big deal?
Some martial arts for you.
But this thing had leg extensions, a third leg joint which prevented the performer from walking on his own legs, and obviously if you've seen the movie, being able to maneuver around obstacles, very human-like, and being able to use your own functioning legs as the performer would be pretty vital. Now, you could shoot around this, and they did try to, because they do have footage from it, you'll see it on screen right now, of them trying to film with this original suit. They tried to make it maneuver better, at least on camera. So when you saw the legs, in order to make this happen, they had, again, the harness inside the suit, which they hung from wires mounted to an overhead boom arm with puppet legs extending below. Just explaining that sounds cumbersome. I can't imagine trying to create this and then film all of this in a dense Mexican jungle. Impossible. Thankfully, they scrapped all of it, brought in Kevin Peter Hall, a 7'4" black guy, huge dude, and redesigned the Predator into the iconic creature that we all love today. Look, I'm not even saying I love the new design. I don't. But considering Deck's background, a runt, outcast, desperate to prove himself, it actually makes sense that he looks different. It fits the story, which we don't even fully know yet, but at least we should wait to find out before the outrage. I think my real issue comes down nowadays to the fact that nobody has any patience anymore. People are out here judging an unfinished meal before the chef even adds the seasoning. We haven't seen the full movie yet, just a teaser, not even the full trailer. Let the story cook. Like I said, I originally watched The Vikings for the first time and I didn't like season 1. Dropped it completely. Years later, a friend convinced me to give it another shot and I loved it. I got actually obsessed with that show pretty hard. But the same thing happens all the time with other shows, movies, books. Feast of Crows, Game of Thrones, The Song of Ice and Fire, the 4th book, wasn't my favorite Game of Thrones book either. It was slow, but it needed to set up massive events down the line, and I got that. I'm like, this book is labor for me to get through, but there's a purpose eventually, and I can wait for it. Same thing happens with anime. Sometimes you get these large training arc seasons where they're really just, filled with comedy, but it's because they're building the characters, they're building up their strength for the epic battles that come in the future. But if a trailer, not even like a book or a movie or a full-blown series, a teaser trailer that I think is like a minute and 12 seconds long, doesn't blow people's socks off immediately, or there's a woman in it, God forbid, or a black guy, God forbid, woke bad, cancel it, baby. It's getting pathetic at this point. Don't watch. I don't think it's complicated. There's a bunch of crap that's coming out that I don't like. It's not going to watch it then. And what's even funnier is there's always been great movies with female leads, black leads. Replacing a white character with a black actor may hurt your feelings or your ego or whatever, but it doesn't automatically ruin the story. It's all about execution at the end of the day. Do I think it's a good idea to do? Probably not. But I mean, the outrage alone is basically free PR, so might as well. As a viewer, if you want to watch it, go check it out. And if you don't enjoy it, don't enjoy it. But if you're already in this place of negativity because they replaced your favorite race, I guess, then you're already not going to enjoy the movie. And it doesn't matter how good it is at that point. You will crap on it forever. And I think people should take a hard look at themselves. Like, am I hating this because they replaced one thing that I don't like, or do I not like the content surrounding it? All right, a quick example is like Game of Thrones replacing that entire family with the black family, basically. I don't know if anybody cares anymore. I heard people complain about it before. I don't think anybody gives a crap anymore because it's like, oh, it's still great Game of Thrones or House of Dragon storytelling. It's still got that George R.R. Martin feel to it in a way. So at the end of the day, it's still great. And I think that's all that matters. If you can execute right and direct something properly, it doesn't really matter the stuff happening in between it like that. But, that's my opinion. Maybe you have another one. I just think you shouldn't sit there judging a movie off so little, especially the hair. Really? Let the story cook. But if you have a different opinion, let me know down below. Like, comment, subscribe, share this out. And until next time, what's the best recent film you've seen?